It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Friday, the 3rd of January. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather will stay dry today and tomorrow. Then Sunday becomes windy and wet, maybe some thunder. And then next week we go in the deep freeze. And could we see some winter mischief in about a week? That's the big question. So let's look at everything together. We got a pile of new data in the house this morning. This is where we stand right now. This is the upper air look across the country. The flow about 18,000 feet off the ground. Little clipper is passing north of the state. That's going to sharpen up the trough and pull down some colder air we'll feel tonight and tomorrow. And with that little Alberta clipper, we note a few echoes on radar early this morning over northeast Alabama, northwest Georgia. A very good chance that's not reaching the ground. I guess conceivably there might be a little tiny snowflake or two somewhere, but again, with the low level so dry, that should be evaporating. Our next meaningful precipitation day will be on Sunday. We've got 30s for most of the state this morning. We note it's in the mid-30s at Huntsville and Birmingham because of some clouds with the Alberta clipper. Montgomery, the cold spot, that's where the sky is clear. They've got 30. Dothan 34, Mobile 41. We're expecting highs in the 50s today. Again, right at seasonal averages for early January. Now, while we see rain Sunday and Sunday night, north of here, a whopper of a snowstorm is going to be unfolding with some ice on top of that. We have winter storm watches in effect all the way from Kansas over to near Columbus and Cincinnati. And those watches will be expanded eastward with time. And again, we have two distinct storm systems on the way. This is storm number 1. Storm number 2 is the one about a week away, the end of next week, and that's the one that could bring some wintry precipitation for the southern states. Here's the severe weather outlook for the rest of today and tonight. No severe storms expected, maybe some thunder for the coast of Northern California and Oregon. Tomorrow on Saturday, again, no severe storms expected. Maybe a rumble of thunder for places like Tulsa, Wichita, Oklahoma City, Joplin, Fort Smith, Fayetteville. And then on day 3, which is Sunday, we have a risk of severe storms defined mainly for areas west of Alabama. We have a level 2 out of level 5, slight risk from Memphis down to Houston. The areas in yellow on that map, that would include Shreveport, Jackson, Monroe, Louisiana. There is a marginal risk that extends to the Alabama-Mississippi state line, but there is no risk of severe storms defined really for most of Alabama. And again, the air just seems to be too stable for severe storms. We'll take a look at modeling here in just a second, but I will say the gradient winds will be ramping up. It's going to be a very windy day on Sunday, not related to storms. Rain with this system for Alabama should be about 1 inch for the northern half of the state, 1/2 to 1 inch for South Alabama. And that's not a bad thing because look at this. This is the new drought monitor that was released yesterday. And it's still pretty remarkable that 35% of the state is still in some type of drought conditions, despite the good rain that we experienced back this past weekend. So we'll take that rain on Sunday. So here we go. Let's break it down day by day. Model fans. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 3 o'clock. And again, ridge in the west, trough in the east, and mostly sunny with highs in the 50s. That clipper producing some light snow for the Appalachian Mountains, from the Great Smokies on to the northeast. Tomorrow, we are cold and dry for North Alabama. We start the day in the 20s. The high will be in the upper 40s. South Alabama will see 50s. And we note that 997 millibar surface low that's over the northeastern tip of New Mexico. That's that storm number 1. And here it comes on Sunday. That surface low is over northeast Arkansas. And again, this is going to be a whopper of a snow and ice event in that broad zone from Kansas City over to St. Louis, Indianapolis, ultimately places like Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. But again, the gradient is going to be pretty tight with this thing. So understand Sunday will be a windy day. We might see winds gusting to 40 miles an hour Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. But this is the main limiting factor, just not that much instability. There's a little bit over West Alabama. This is the instability Sunday night at midnight as the line of storms will be coming through. So we'll watch radar trends carefully. But again, rain moving in Sunday. Some thunderstorms Sunday night. The better chance of any severe storms, again, will be west of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Monday will be windy and cold. We stay in the 30s all day for the northern half of the state, 40s for South Alabama. And again, for the northern third of Alabama, in that cold air advection pattern, we could see a few light snow flurries on Monday. No impact if that happens, but certainly it's always a big deal if there's one snowflake in Alabama. And again, we notice snow continues over into places like Washington, Baltimore, and Philadelphia on Monday. So this is the expected snow output from storm number one. Again, we stress this is the system Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday, and you can see that broad swath of heavy snow from Kansas City over to St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, and over toward Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. And we should mention on the southern periphery of this mess, we could see some ice accumulation. And that's the worst. Freezing rain. Freezing rain, it's liquid. You walk outside, you get wet. It's raining, but temperatures are below 32. And you can see potential for some meaningful ice accumulation in parts of Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky with this feature. But again, we stress this is storm number one. All of this big mess north of here, we'll just have rain and some thunder. So on Tuesday, we're cold and dry. Lows down around 20 to 23, highs in the 30s for North Alabama. This is Wednesday, same thing, cold and dry. Lows teens and 20s, highs in the 30s for the northern part of the state. Now, this is Thursday. Notice there's no sign of any winter storm here Thursday of next week, and this is the GFS, the American model. And let's go to a week from today. This is Friday the 10th. We have that big upper low that's over Baja that will be ejecting a short wave. And down below that, rain begins to increase in areas west and southwest of Alabama. Maybe some snow for parts of Texas. The thermal field's a little warmer on this run. And certainly the system is slower in getting in here. So this is Friday night of next week, January 10th, Friday night. And a very weak wave in the northern Gulf. This suggests a chance of rain for South Alabama. Maybe a few snowflakes in the mix over the eastern counties of the state, but this is not really a robust winter storm look here. But let's look at the European. This is the same time. This is Friday night of next week at midnight, the night of January 10th. Thermal fields are colder on the European, and it's suggesting a chance of some meaningful snow maybe for parts of north and central Alabama, especially the eastern half of north and central Alabama. And do you even want to look at the Canadian for our third opinion here? Whoa! Now, this is Thursday. This is more than 24 hours earlier than the other two models, and it shows a broad low in the Gulf with freezing rain or sleet for Mobile and Panama City, Gulf Shores, and snow for South Alabama. But this is an outlier, and I think the signals we're just seeing here is that the wave in the Gulf could be a little slower to get here, maybe late Friday or Friday night. And there's still some chance we could see some wintry precipitation here, no doubt about that. And understand, these models will flip and flop a lot until we get storm number one out of here. But forget all this stuff. Let's look at the ensemble output. This is coming off the reliable European. Remember, the European has how many members? 51. And this is the snow plume. And again, look at there's a lot of the members that show accumulating snow potential, not especially heavy, but some light accumulation for Birmingham. This is for Birmingham. Again, your numbers could vary. Of course, some members show absolutely nothing, but I'd say about half the members are showing potential for light snow here. And the mean accumulation, the green line, is about 1/2 inch. So the signals are there for a Gulf low with cold air in place, which means there's a chance somebody across the Deep South could see some accumulating snow or maybe sleet or freezing rain at the end of next week. around the 10th, especially maybe the night of Friday the 10th. But I've said this all week, and I'll say it again this morning, which is not what you want to hear, but it's the truth. We don't have the skill set of forecasting any specifics out here. I don't. Nobody does. And until we get storm number 1 out of here, we're going to have a really hard time focusing on storm number 2, which is this one at the end of next week. So once we get to Monday, the confidence level will be much, much higher in terms of what happens here. So let's keep going. Let's go out 10 days. This is Sunday the 12th. Again, that Baja low begins to lift out, and evidence of rain this time coming in with a warm-up. The GFS suggesting thermal fields too warm for any snow with this one. But again, this could easily change. So let's go to the national blend of models, which I think is the best way of looking at this, and you can see that it's bumping us up to 60 on Sunday in advance of the rain and line of storms. And then that high of Monday of 42, I think, will be in the 30s all day, and it's going to feel much, much colder. The wind chill index Monday will be below freezing all day because of a very strong north wind. And then for the rest of next week, highs in the 30s, lows in the low 20s. And then we creep back up in the 40s by Sunday and Monday, the 12th and the 13th, with lows in the still below freezing. And again, understand all of those values are way below average. We should be in the highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s this time of the year. In the latest long-range guidance, this is for January 10th through the 16th. A lot of blue, meaning, again, temperatures below average. Whoa, what a sunset last night. Goodness gracious. I was up on the Tennessee River. Incredible. Hey, you send me a picture of a sunset, cows, a barbed wire fence. You know, that's going to make these videos. Like that shot that was taken up at Lake Guntersville. There's another shot from the Tennessee River last night. How about Gulf Shores? Very colorful. This was taken over the Florida Panhandle. No high clouds there. The sky was clear. And a lot of folks are starting to pack up and head home, but they're vacationing out west, the mountains. And they have been slammed with a lot of snow there. In fact, this shot was taken from the Wasatch Mountains in Utah. They've had some big numbers. And the moon last night, 9% illuminated, waxing crescent phase. That was taken by Russ McKinney. So again, Monday back on the school circuit, Monday of next week. Looking forward to that. We are jam-packed with schools for the rest of this year. But thanks for watching this morning. And again, if you're new here, we typically do these videos twice a day. In the morning about 5:45, the afternoon about 2:45 Central Time. Supplementary notes on the blog, alabamawx.com. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on the TV side this evening, if you can, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.